Greetings everyone, and Gray here with another Advanced Wars Days Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the right side as the red Lin, we got Alomi. Spawn on the left side as the green Hawk, we got SylerSK. When it comes to COs, of course Lin is unchanged with cartridge counterpart. Standard boarding cost, 1 radius, 36 and 60. All units get plus 10, all ground units get additional plus 20. When it comes to superpower, we'll apply all that globally, plus all your grounding gets additional 2 vision range and can see through hiding spots. Hawk is of course a custom CEO in Tiny Wars. Standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 3 expansions of 30, 70, 120 with max energy of 120. His day-to-day of course mixes the standard plus 10 plus its inherent plus 10% offense from the cartridge. And of course you get Black Wave at 50 energy, and you get Black Storm at 100 energy, allowing you to get a save of 20 energy left over. Usually a lot of games, good games from him. I think he's a very active player to say the least. This map is a 3 base map, 1 airport, strong side of weak side mechanic, airport on the weak side, and a good amount of defensive terrain on the weak side as well. Comm tower as well. This map also has an odd characteristic, the fact that it has an odd number of properties. This city right here is dead center. It's symmetrical with itself. Is it heretical that a map has odd number of properties? Because nearly every other map has an even number. Two awesome seal themes, I would like to say. You got the happier but strong rock and roll versus the heavy metal drums. Or the dark sounding, evil sounding metal drums. But just to be frank, this is the only song I could ever think of where involving metal drums not being Hawaiian. Or Caribbean or island, oceanic, Polynesian. Ooh, tank there. Looks like commits double base skip for a tank on the weak side. She may seal her tank there. That probably should be a comm tower and see people go shit. Comm towers are weaker in this game. I don't know. I sort of like the dual strike comm towers better, where it applies percent offense and no defense. It makes it a bit more impactful than somewhat even of +5/+5, effectively neutralizing each other, making it like minuscule difference. If they're ever going to make some more towel sets for Tiny Wars, I would like to see the dual strike comm tower as a tile set which provides just offense. The swap of the model for the dual strike style, which is like a pair of like radios on top of a pyramid, right? Bike tank. Lin has CO'd her tank here. And Hawk could CO this tank here. Does not vision this tank just yet, but Lin should have vision of that tank. Of course, nowhere to reach it. There's infantry in the way. She will retain vision of that 8 health infantry. 8-tier infantry, and capture the airport. 8-tier actually arrived a little too early. Does push forward and take out that unit. Artillery, tank, and recon. So yeah, I think Lin pushed her tank too far forward. Should not be in range of Hawk's tank there. Gets a great strike there. Actually puts the tank right there. Could have sworn that tank will take another shot right there if the infantry is cover. Guess not. Pulls back her tank there. Gets a good shot at the infantry unit there. Up to 20 energies. She may join with this tank here, but probably going to need not to join just yet. 6 health is still usable, and a full health tank and a 6 health tank will provide a bit more presence just off one single full health tank. That's boosted up quite a bit. I guess you agree with me as well about taking put another round in that tank. Because even if there was another tank that rolled up, I think he would have been fine in the end. Right now, Hawk's at 27 energy. Gets a good amount of energy there. She's now at 33 energy. Capturing the city there. She's at 46 energy, pretty close to a CO power, but should not push forward for command tank there. Hawk could deploy out his power next turn. 9, 4, 13. Actually, if this infantry unit gets spotted and +1 CO zone now, he's able to deploy out his power this turn. Sacks his unit there. Hits the tank there, but now in range artillery, which he does have vision of right now. Probably a little bit too late. That was from that last move. He's at 49 energy. Definitely should have tried getting the power, I would say. Missile, tank, and infantry. The missile knows where it's at, for knows where it's not. Lynn could deploy her superpower this turn. Won't help her on this flank, but would help her push forward over here. Possible superpower, not to mention provides good vision globally. Good picks up north. Not to mention she does have a good amount of defense now global as well as offense. For example, 40, 45, infantry unit 1 HP, so it's affected by it because it is a ground unit, it's not ground vehicles. Tank battlecopter commits base skip. Hawk can plow his power this turn, but extra power charge before popping out is a good idea. Launch the black wave. Lynn still has her command tank back here. The extra defense being very useful right now. Missile, or no, anti-air, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Push forward for tank there. Of course, without +1 radius, it is a little bit limited what she can do for aura. Does take out Lynn's tank there. She does another tank on top of his HQ. Would CO this tank or this tank. Artillery would be at 6 health next turn, so maybe argument to go for this tank here. Battlecopter did a good strike, but finds the anti-air at the last minute. Wrong moment. Does not spot the missile there. Is out of range. Does hit Hawk's tank. Picks up the anti-air, COs the tank in the center. Tank, and bike. Hits the recon twice. It's that tank. Hawk pops another power. The missile is getting the range of that battlecopter, or is in range. It is indeed in range. Medium tank, artillery, and artillery. Land right now is 24,000 comes. Hawk has 24,000 as well. This leads me to suggest there's one property still neutral on the field, but I'm not sure where. This map has odd number of properties. Oh, right there. That property is still despicably neutral. Well, now if Recon's still doing its job as a recon. Does get some good shots there. ATR can push forward to one of these cities and be a good spot. Tank. It's a tank there. It's the regular tank, the command tank. Battlecopter, anti-air, flyer, and infantry. It's the battlecopter. Hits the missile. And not to mention now in minimum range of the missile. Hawk's at 22 energy at the moment. Anti-air, tank. Hawk maybe applies power this turn. Just need a little bit more hits. 7 health infantry is a good target. Needs 4 more damage and can pop out his power. He's on the battlecopter. Falls back, so no power this turn. If the tank struck the infantry, he should have struck that before pulling back the tank. Nope. Oh, he does have his power though this turn, or got charged up with the movement up here. Trying to flip that property. This property is still despicably neutral. Takes out that infantry there. Bike, tank. It's the unit capturing the property there. Interrupts both captures. Pops the power. Good number of medium tanks in the center of the map now. And serve 135,000, Lin serve 80,000, so Lin is behind, though she does feel like she has better field control at the moment. The extra defense did save the battlecopter. Hits the artillery, hits the infantry. Tank, anti-air, and bike. Medium tank infantry. You think those strike the right tank there, but those does go in range of the artillery. And serve 151 versus 101. Does strike the medium tank there. Hawks has 7 energy at the moment. Making massive progress over here. Got a medium tank up stop. Maybe a little bit too far forward, honestly. Central property starting to get flipped there. 25,000 for 23,000 cup. Battlecopter, tank, and commit space skip. Let's take out the bike there with the 1 health battlecopter. More medium tanks there, so that's why we didn't see a anti-tank. Tank infantry. Hawks now rotating up north with sizable threat. You could also strike this artillery if a tank does do that. Pulls back the medium tank. Does not move the artillery. Lands at 20 energy. Some good rounds on those units. Does put some good damage there. Takes out the battlecopter. Drops that capture there. 3 health infantry still continues the capture up here. 1 capture progress remaining. Tank. Yeah, I think these forces are going to run out of steam pretty quickly. Got a good number of tanks here, but got this flanking force and interceptor reinforcements. Pretty good counterattack overall. Another medium tank there. Medium tanks overall appear to be a good call. Does get trapped there. Finds a medium tank there. Finds another regular tank there. 30 energy. Though looks like Lynn will capture this comm tower, giving both in her favor. Though the battlecopter I think can interrupt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Battlecopter is in range. Interrupt. Strikes a missile there for 1 point of damage. Looks like that. Oh, does capture the comm tower there. That battlecopter was already moved, my bad. So Lynn now has both comm towers, which is very nice to have. Dark Destruct the center, takes out the tank there. Battlecopter hits the medium tank. Medium tank does get finished off. Good strike there. Hawks at 35 energy. Plenty of targets in front of him, so should be able to pull his power next turn. Pops the power, barely, with perfect energy remaining. So tank and anti-air. Let's spot the anti-air there. I think it does work better with Days of Ruin. I've never seen this map being horrible. It always feels pretty good for Tiny Wars, at least. I think overall Days of Ruin was a vast improvement of previous games. With the tiers of units being a little bit reduced, maybe the medium tanks could use a slight bit of defense buff, but that's about it. But I feel like they got the balance pretty good in Days of Ruin. Other than a couple things where I think Dusters need a cost reduction. Right now, what, Dusters are 13,000? Or when I think they could actually... Honestly, Dusters could receive a cost reduction almost down to 9,000 to be equal to Battlecopters. Since they are meant to hunt Battlecopters and can hit infantry. As a bit of utility, I think them costing the same as Battlecopters would actually be pretty nice. Capturing those properties down south. Does get a good strike there on the medium tank. Hits the missile quite nicely. Yeah, the only thing the missiles needed a real buff was just +1 range. I think that was actually all it really needed. Plus, there's not... And the aircraft are cheaper overall. Though I would say in Advanced Wars by Web and Dual Strike, have it able to hit stealths when stealthed. Oh, looks like I'm going to be threatening the HQ, as well as that's the city there. The despicable neutral cities also has been captured a bit time ago. Fox at 28,000 income versus 151. Lynn's at the 86,000 in the field, which is not great. Does put the medium tank there. Of course, we'll be able to interrupt the capture down here, no problem. She's at 47 energy, so pretty close to another superpower for her. Battlecopter keeps his distance away from the missile, with plenty of space. Medium tank, bike, and artillery. Battlecopter, bike, artillery. And another artillery. Fox at 40 energy, Lynn's at 47. And there is, of course, a pretty good target right there. Make that 57. That was 3 energy she needed, but it's out of her radius. If she would have moved the tank right there, she could have had enough for our CO power next turn. Medium tank, bike. Does hit the infantry unit there. Rocket artillery bike. Instead of 193 was 120, so Lynn's still pretty far behind. And hopes for capture. May see a big, massive tank conflict in the center. Hawks have 40 energy, and now there's multiple targets within range to get the CO power going. Hits the medium tank twice. She has her own CO power available. Of course, won't be able to apply that next turn, but the extra radius is going to was pretty nice. Though actually not really needed based on the current unit placement. Hawk can get Black Wave next turn, potentially even Black Storm if my offhand math is incorrect. Medium tank hits the medium tank, but is in range of the medium tank. Hits the bike, does not spot the artillery. There's Black Wave. Probably could move forward, engage. He was in his own CO zone, so he would have got power charge there. So I think that was a bit of a misplay. Lynn does take a hit there with her tank. They want to pop her superpower this turn, but there's a lot of targets in front of her, and some of her stuff is a bit wounded. Anti-tank, and infantry. Pops superpower, of course, gets some good spotting. Deletes something there, or with the artillery, I should say. Delete it with artillery. Hits the anti-air. Hits the artillery. Hits the battlecopter. Hits the artillery. Hits the regular tank. Hits the bike. Yeah, it looks like Lynn's in a particularly tough situation right now. Medium tank, and bike. Takes off a good number of outlying units. With Hawk right now at 29,000 versus 20,000. I think that's what's really helping Hawk. Flared fired. Tank, bike, and battlecopter. 185,000 versus 76. Trips capture takes out artillery. Good shot there. It's the medium tank. It's the battlecopter. joins there. Battlecopter, tank, bike, and commit space skip. Hawk is going to get a good amount of power charge this turn. Medium tank, tank, and artillery. It's the anti-tank with the bike. Lynn's getting a good amount of power charge this turn. Does get trapped by the 4-health anti-air. Hawk will be able to apply all his power this turn. Hits the medium tank. Pops the power. Hits the Lynn's tank there, knocking it out. After some outline properties, yep, looks like I think Lynn probably should throw in the towel now. Artillery, artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. Tank, bike, bike. Bike, 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 and battlecopter. Does hit Lynn's medium tank there. Artillery advancing in range. I think you may be watching the game a little bit late. That was about 30 minutes ago, the previous game. Battlecopter, medium tank, tank, and bike. Yeah, right now, there's nothing much more for me to say. It looks like Lynn is done for. Tank, tank, and infantry. Pops a nice little black wave. And now we do have the HQ being captured. medium tank, and flyer. Does interrupt the capture. Does find the artillery there. Let's join capture onto the command tank. HQ Prague has 4 or 6 capture progress remaining, so the 4 health bike will take another turn after this one, or another turn after the next, and just resigns. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.